Hello. How are you all? Another sunny day. We'll give it one more minute and then we'll get cracking. We've got 3 more characters today. We're going to do Boba Fett, we're going to do Donkey from Shrek, and we're doing Grandpa Simpson from The Simpsons. We're going to start with Boba Fett. It's quite easy. It's similar to the characters that we've done recently. We did a Stormtrooper, didn't we? Yesterday or the day before. So it's going to be face on. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start on the left hand side. A big straight line, or as straight as you can get it, and it's about 1/2 centimetre thick. This is the, it's a sort of antennae. It actually comes down over his face, and I guess it's a way for him to target things. So we've got this odd looking shaped implement at the top here. Let's turn our paper now into a position that's going to allow us to draw some straight lines. So again, a little bit like the Stormtrooper that we did. We're coming almost, let's do the bottom one first. So this is going to come level with the bottom of that piece that we just drew, but it's not going to touch. And then above that, about 1 centimetre above, we're going to draw another line that goes a little bit further but not quite touching. So then just about, where are we? We're just over halfway up. So we're going to put our dot and we're going to do one of these dome shapes. A lot of the characters had this, and that's going to connect to that line. And then I'm going to start around again. So anchor your little finger knuckle down. And then move your wrist and try and get those to connect. So still working down this left side so that we don't smudge it. We've got another straight line that comes down and round. I guess this is the side of his head. And then the line of the dome comes down slightly further down because this comes to a diagonal edge there. I'm going to finish that off there. There's a little bit of detailing, so there's 3 lines on the side there. So continuing this diagonal line down, and we're going to be, if this is halfway, we're a couple of centimetres to the left of that, so we don't want to go too far across. That looks okay to me. And then it's a flat or a straighter line across the bottom for maybe 4 centimetres, and then we're going to come back up. Let's get this line in first here actually. Let's continue the edge of this down so it just fans out slightly, and then we can connect that. So we've got this. It's not quite a triangular shape, but it fans out at the bottom. Okay, so if we make a couple of dots just over 1 centimetre down and probably about 2.5 centimetres apart from each other, quite central, we have this line that comes down on both sides, and it's fairly uniform. It doesn't really fan out too much. Coming off from these, we've got these slightly curved lines that meet that initial line that we put in. And this is the visor area. This is what he looks out of. So this is actually a darker colour than the rest of the helmet. Right in the centre of the forehead, he has these two triangular shapes. I'm not entirely sure what they are, but we have two triangles on the side. Now, just going slightly above those three lines, we're going to make a curved line that comes down to there, so it's not quite touching this. And then within that, we've got a rainbow shape. And then we're going to repeat the same on the other side. So just roughly measuring that across. So remember, it doesn't want to touch the edge of that visor in there. And then within that we have this rainbowy shape. So it follows the line and then it cuts back in and finishes on the side there. We just have a few more little details on the side. So again, this is similar to the Stormtrooper. They have these parts on their helmet, which I guess is where their ears go. I'm quite happy with that. Quite easy. There wasn't an awful lot to that. So there's Boba Fett. Let's have a go now at Donkey from Shrek. So this takes up nearly all of the page, so it's quite a big picture. So the ears are going to be at the top. It's Donkey's head, and there's a little bit of his neck and body in there, but not too much. So let's start with an ear. So we're going to draw a curved line. Followed by one that doesn't quite come down as far. Donkey's got this tuft of hair that comes across there, so you can't quite see the back of that ear. We've just got a little detail within the ear there just to show where the inside of the ear is. And then we're going to go with the second ear now. So it's slightly higher up than the initial one, and it's a slightly different shape, but it tapers in, it becomes thinner towards the bottom, and just a hint of the inside of the ear there. So coming wider than this ear now, this is where the edge of Donkey's head sits. He's got this funny shaped forehead. Comes down in the middle and then up again for his eyebrows. So where the edge of the hair starts here on this side, we're going to come down and round. We're going to make a line there. That's the edge of his, I guess it's kind of his nose, where the bridge of his nose would be, because on this side we have an eye, with his pupil slightly towards the top. We're just leaving that top corner, that top section white, just so that we've got that glint in the eye. And he's got a little bit of an eyebrow there. So coming from this side here now, we're going to do the snout. And it's going to come almost all the way out towards the edge of the paper. and back in, and then finally a slightly different angle, and we're coming right to the edge of where this ear is, so we don't want to go too far across. That's the edge of his mouth. And he has a nostril in there. So he's now got these big teeth. And then the bottom of his jaw comes out. The first tooth, we're coming in towards the second tooth, and then down and around. And then we've got some more teeth in here. You don't need to put all the details of all the teeth in, we're just giving a indication of teeth. And his bottom lip. Okay, let's get this second eye in. So it's the corner is almost level with that, but it's on a slight angle. We're going to make almost a semicircle. So we need that type of shape. There's just some details above the eye. And then we're going to have almost the same shape for the actual eye and the pupil itself. We're going to leave that corner out of the pupil, just so we've got the glint in the eye. And there is an eyebrow just above that. So continue this ear down. We're going to come quite close to the eye, but we're not going to touch the eye. And then we're going to make a slight bulge on this side, just to show the side of his face. And then from there comes his neck. And we can see a little bit of his neck this side. We've just got a little bit of his body. And I'm guessing this would be the back of him there. And then finally we've got a little bit of hair. I'm guessing this comes down. Perfect. So there's Donkey. He was quite tough to draw, actually, wasn't he? Okay, so third one. We're going to go for Grandpa Simpson. So he's very similar to Homer, actually. He's just slightly more wrinkly. He's got a similar shaped face and similar shaped head. So let's start with our eye that we can see the full circle on to begin with. Center, or almost in the center. And then this eye on the left, we can't quite see all of it. So we're going to bring that round because there's the nose in there. And it's just a slightly different shape. It's got that slight bulge in it compared to the other characters that we've done. Pupil in there. So Grandpa's mouth, again, it's similar to Homer's, but there's just a few more bumps and ridges on this. It's just to give him the look of being slightly older. But it comes round and down like the rest of the characters that we've been doing does. And this part of his face also comes round. We've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 3 teeth that we can see. And his tongue is sitting in there. Now this part comes down and round towards his neck there, and we just close that off. So we can colour this part in black, because that's the inside of his mouth. And then we've got this wobbly bit that comes underneath and into his neck. Let's get his ear in. So his ear sits almost level with the middle of the eyes. It's a much bigger ear than on the other characters that we've been doing. And then we've got his neck coming around the side there. So for the top of the head, it's quite wrinkly. And it goes to a point at the top, so it's wider at the bottom than it is towards the top, and there are some odd shapes and freckles and wrinkles and things on there as well. And on the top we've got this tuft of hair. It's kind of spiky. Okay, coming down into Grandpa's arm then. So we can see his shoulder coming down and round, and he's got a long sleeve top on, so we don't see the top of the t-shirt like we did with the last couple of characters. Certainly Homer had a shorter top on. The same things with the edges of their top, the cufflinks there, so you can see the cuffs. And then we've got the 3 fingers again, so the little finger is pointing down, that one's at the side, and then his index finger is pointing out, and then a thumb. And a detail in there for the palm of the hand. He's wearing what looks like a shirt, so we're just going to put a collar in there. And we can see the other side of it coming over there. And he has a, looks like a drawstring tie almost. It has a, I don't know what that is, piece of material or plastic or something on there as well. So this side of the body, it's very similar again to Homer's. The top part is thinner and then it bulges out and comes all the way around to join the other side up. His second hand is coming out of the side of his chest there. You don't see anywhere near as much of the arm on the side because his body's covering it. And this time the thumb is going to be on this side. Index finger out to the side. So that's a much easier hand to draw. Okay. So we can just, I guess it's a little bit of a t-shirt or something, just sticking out the bottom of Grandpa's top. So we're going to put that. I don't think it's a belt because it's sitting wider than the trousers. And then Grandpa's legs are at a funny angle. So the knees are sort of bending in towards the middle. So we're doing that series of lines. As you can see, the knees are sort of knocking in together. He has on, it looks like his trousers are turned up, so we've got an area that appears to have, this area here looks like his trousers have been turned up, and he appears to be wearing slippers or some sort of sandals. So we've got that kind of shape where the back of the foot's been left open, and we've got the sandals or slippers on that side. So we're going to do something similar here, making sure, because obviously his knees are bending in towards the front of his foot, is going to be on this side, so his feet are turned in. He looks like he's going to fall over to me. So we've got that turned up trouser leg in there. So we've now got this similar shape to what we did on this side, but it's just the other way around. That comes out. And we can just see Grandpa's heel on this side sticking out there, like we did on this side. Good. Okay. We can add a few creases just to show that we've got a material maybe a fingernail on there, and I think I'm quite happy with that. So Donkey, Grandpa Simpson and Boba Fett. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to send those over again. I'm liking seeing your drawings. Thanks for joining me again, and I'll see you after the weekend, so Monday. Thanks a lot for watching.